your summer been since the draft? Have you ever been able to take a break? Are you in training mode? What are you up to?
Yeah, summer's been good so far. Yeah, I would say I'm pretty much in training mode from before the draft, after the draft. I never really took a break. So yeah, I've been on the ice a couple times a week, lifting every day and just kind of grinding all summer long.
Yeah, how excited are you to come up to Seattle? Have you been to Seattle before?
No, I haven't been to Seattle, but I was born in Vancouver, so my parents say it's pretty similar to Vancouver. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm really excited because all the mountains and to be on the sea, I think that's really special and obviously a beautiful place to be. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, I've never been to Vancouver, but I've been to Seattle plenty, and I've also heard that Vancouver and Seattle are pretty much like you're just on that same strip.
No, that
Um,
sounds awesome.
yeah. But yeah, you said you grew up in Vancouver. I believe you also grew up in Oakville, Ontario, correct?
Yeah, I only spent two years in Vancouver and then actually moved to Ottawa for about till I was 8 and then moved to Oakville. So bounced around a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, was this like a hockey thing? What was hockey for you like as a kid?
It was really good. I started my career because I was watching my sister on the ice before me, and I told my parents I really wanted to play. And my dad grew up around the game and he played as well. So I think it was just a natural thing for me to play hockey, and I fell in love with it the first time I ever stepped on the ice, and I kind of worked my way up. And no, I've enjoyed every single minute of it. It's been super fun. I love the competitiveness aspect of it. I think it brings out the best person and player in me. So, yeah, big part of my life for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, you've had a long journey, to get to where you are now. Looking back, what would you say is like or what do you feel is the most defining moment for you?
I think committing to Penn State when I was in I think I was in grade 8 or grade 9. So super early. That's kind of the first step where you take where you're like, oh, like maybe I could do this for a living. Maybe I could play professionally. And at that time, there was not really a solid league around. So I would say that like the real turning point was at when the league started up and I was at Duluth and I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. That's where I want to be. That's kind of my dream. So really cool to be here. Just thankful that all the women before me paved the path. So we're able to play in this league and it's sustainable for us. So yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about the people who paved this path. Are there players in, the women's game or maybe even the men's game that you model your play after?
I always modeled my play after Corey Perry. From I mean he's bounced around everywhere, but kind of he's a high IQ player, can dish the puck, can score, gets to the gritty areas on the ice. So I think he's a really good complementary player. Even this past playoffs, you saw it, he was able to play up and down the lineup, play with McDavid, play with Nugent Hopkins. So that's the kind of player I strive to be. On the women's side, I would say I kind of model my game after Brianne Jenner. Um, Kind of the same thing, gets to the gritty areas of the ice, is a really good playmaker, high IQ, and can also finish when she needs to. So those are the two players I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, with that comparison, thinking back to your college career, definitely feels like you evolved a lot, especially this past season. Do you feel like something clicked for you this past year?
I would just say being able to get in a program that pushes me, especially that first year, kind of made me, I came from Penn State and kind of the first few practices in Duluth, I was a bit uncomfortable with the amount of skill was around me and how practices were so competitive. So I think it took me a little bit to adjust, but when I adjust, I was really able to excel and obviously played with such good players there. So grateful that I got to play with them. A lot of them got drafted in this past draft too, so nothing short of talent over there at Duluth. And I think it just made me a better player in person, getting to play with those players and kind of learning from Coach Shu. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of rosters, and that growth, you already have a lot of like big names on the Seattle roster. How do you see yourself fitting into the mix?
I see myself kind of a player that can play up and down the lineup, a really nice complementary player, I would say, for everyone else. But obviously, I want to play in whatever role I can, whatever role they give me. So I'm really excited just to get there and kind of find that out.
Yeah. Do you feel, or I guess, going back, we're talking about, the historical moment we're in with women's hockey. What excites you the most about being part of an expansion team and helping build something from the ground up, basically?
Yeah, I think just being able to be so close to the fan base that first year and really get to know the fans and make connections with them. And obviously playing at the Climate Pledge Center in Seattle, obviously the resources they're going to give us are going to be amazing. And I can't wait to be treated like a professional athlete like the boys. So I'm really excited for all of that.
What is something, that you want Seattle fans to know about you as a player before they even see you on the ice for the first time?
I would just say I'm a high IQ player that can dish the puck, but also knows how to score and also know how to get to the gritty areas on the ice. I also like to throw a chirp or two in there sometimes. Don't know how much I'll be doing that this year, but yeah, it's kind of part of my game.
Yeah. No, that's something about Seattle. I don't know if you've heard. Seattle fans are incredibly loud. They really do like the jeering. They like the mocking. If you ever had a chance, if you ever have a chance to go to a Kraken game, um, Kraken fans and like refs do not mix. It gets yeah. But yeah. Going back to your college, you studied what was it, civil engineering, correct?
Yeah.
Do you like this feels very unique path for an athlete, it's not comms, it's not, something like stats. Do you see parallels between engineering and hockey that you like bring into the game or maybe bring into your studies?
Yeah, I would just say civil engineering is like very analytical. You're thinking kind of in the mathier side of things. Like, so I bring that to hockey and I'm not that I'm weighing out like the percentages of the plays every time because you're making split second decisions, but you kind of quickly weigh out the options in your head and you're like, okay, do I pass the puck or do I shoot? What's the per like I kind of think like what's the percentage of, especially in practice when I have more time, like what's the percentage if I come down the wing and I shoot top right? Like how I kind of like the analytics part of it. And looking at, I guess, the percentages of the game. And I do that a lot in the NHL and the PWHL kind of.
Do you feel like you're gonna stay connected to that like civil engineering part of yourself while you're playing?
Yeah, for sure. Like my kind of dream was to build environmentally friendly hockey rinks. So kind of funny I ended up at the Climate Pledge Center, which is exactly that. So I can't wait to see inside of it and kind of learn from that and see if I can grow the civil part of my journey too.
Yeah, if when you get that chance to tour it, they have like this beautiful greenery situation on a wall. It's great. You if there's a sign on there that's like don't eat the plants, that's something that happened in my college year. We got to tour it when I was a senior in college, and some of the kids who were with us started chewing on the plants and
No way.
trouble a little bit. But yeah, with civil engineering, what's something about you that fans might not see on the ice? Hobbies, routines, quirks.
I love baking. I love walking my dog in the morning. Her name's Miss Bauer, so kind of after a hockey brand. I love playing pickleball, tennis. I really like playing cards and board games. So that's kind of me.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the civil engineering and climate pledge arena. Pickleball was also invented in Washington.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so you're really like coming in fully Seattle-eyed anyway.
That's
Um,
awesome.
I have one more question. But before I ask it, is there anything that I didn't ask or anything that you wanted, to add that I just haven't touched on?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Yes, and this question, you may be, this is the start of your career, so maybe this isn't something you've thought about just yet. But when you think about your career 5 years from now, what do you want fans to say about the player you are, the person you are?
Yeah, I definitely want to give back to the community. So many of the community supports us, so obviously getting out there is super important, giving back. And that's what I kind of want people to remember me by. Someone who gives back and someone who gives 100% effort all the time.
Hello there, everybody. Charles Hamaker here with Circling Seattle Sports. I'm joined by Jen Barnes of Rough and Tumble that we happen to be at right now.
Yeah.
Jen, why don't you talk to me a little bit about what we're announcing today, which is our partnership.
I'm so excited about this. First of all, I just want to say thank you. I think all of us here at Rough and Tumble are big fans of what you and your team at Circling Seattle Sports does. And so, I know you know this, but when you came to me with this idea, it just seemed pretty natural. And it's not just me. I think a lot of people in the sports community in Seattle also really respect you and your team. So it's exciting to kind of see these two things melding together, and we're really excited to start implementing some of the things and then hopefully seeing you guys a little bit more often.
Yeah, and so with what Jen says about seeing us more often, we've got a few things in the works, but you'll see watch parties here. We'd like to do a few different of our community drives, which you'll hear about here in a little bit from now. We've got to make our announcements one at a time. I can't drop everything.
Not everything
right.
all at once.
But this has been a home for a lot of our team, whether it's myself, our friend, our photographer Liz is behind the camera. Liz is here often, so our team has kind of adopted this place kind of like our own since I saw you at our soft launch. So, it's been great to have that support. And in a lot of ways, and part of the reason I wanted to do this was the Rough and Tumble embodies a lot of what Circling Seattle Sports wants to do. Obviously with women's sports, with the storm and the rain, but just being, having the game on, every game on.
Yep.
How much of that, did you see a line kind of even before this idea was mentioned when I first met you?
I think it's always felt like that. I mean, you and your team were here on opening night, and you just feel like you're part of the space, so it felt like really natural. And the fact that you actually cover all of the sports really makes your group stand out. So you are always covering all the rain games, all the storm games. You'd have women's softball, you'd have women's basketball, you'd have women's hockey. We love it. So all of those things, and obviously passionate M's fans, passionate Hawks fans, and passionate Kraken and Sounders fans. So really, from our perspective, those two things meshed really well.
So, you heard it from Jen herself, but this will be our home for all of these events, whether it's you can't make it to these games at home, we're always going to direct you to Rough and Tumble, and obviously the games on the road as well. All these, we're talking about the rain, they've got their schedule out finally,
yeah, yep.
But this will be our home for that.
Great.
The storm games on the road, this is our home.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes.
I love it.
And when I mentioned it to Jen, when I first had this idea come up, I had this idea come up wearing a pink wig.
Yes, you did.
Ahead of Megan Rapinoe's final regular season home game for the Reign this past year.
Yeah.
I told her it's because I wanted this to feel genuine.
Yep.
I wanted a connection to feel genuine, and it does.
Yeah.
So that's what this is. Rough and Tumble is the home of Circling Seattle Sports, and I'm so excited to finally announce this partnership.
I can't wait.